Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Stretch Yoga. My name is Miriam and I will guide you today through the practice. For today's class, we need one big towel and one small towel. So if you don't have it with you now, then just quickly go to the bathroom and grab your towels. And once you have your towels, you take the big towel, you fold it thick, and you just simply sit on it. And then bring the soles of the feet together. So you can decide the distance. Yeah, if your hips are a little bit more open, you can bring the heels closer. But if you find the knees high up and you're rounding and crunching here the back, then bring your feet a little bit further forward so that you can lengthen your spine and just rest your hands on your knees or on your shin bones. And before we start with a little period of mindfulness, I want to introduce the theme for today's class. So for today, we want to move the spine in different directions. Yeah, we can move the spine in 6 different directions. In forward bending as we're flexing the spine, and also back bending, extension of the spine, lateral flexion, to the side, to the right and the left side, and also twisting the spine to the right and the left side. So we want to move the spine in all of these directions today. And as we do so, we also will, of course, release some tension through the hips and a little bit of the shoulders as well. Okay, from here, hold on your shin bones or on your knees. If you find your pelvis and your glutes pulling you backwards, then just pull yourself a little bit forward and feel the natural lengthening in your spine from the tail to the crown. Then close your eyes. Keep your shoulders, your elbows relaxed. And rebound up through your core, lift your sternum. Lengthen through the back of the neck as the nose is tilting down a little bit towards your breastbone and the crown of the head is reaching skywards. And take a few deep breaths in and out through your nose. Just enjoy the deserved quietness and calmness here in the beginning of the practice before we move into deeper stretches. And just letting go of the busyness, of the craziness of life. Centering yourself, settling into stillness. And just feel waves of breath coming in. And as you invite your inhales down a little bit deeper, and gently press out your exhales a little bit longer, just find a quality of fluidity, steadiness, and rhythm in your breath. Deep inhales, long exhales, inviting the breath into your body. And also connecting with your breath in your body. Allow your breath to be the anchor of your mind today. So whenever you feel during the practice your mind starts to wander, then just bring your attention back towards your breath. Just be here for another 3 deep breaths. Keeping the spine long, the face soft, the shoulders relaxed. And then on your next exhale, you slowly blink your eyes open. Now from here, take chin towards the chest, but keep your spine long, so sternum is lifted. And you just make a circle with your head. Releasing any tension from the neck, from the sides of the neck. Full range of motion to the side, to the front. Just maybe half range of motion to the back. Don't want to overextend the neck. Change direction. And slowly with awareness, there's no rush. Okay, and then from here, come back to center. From here, you stay with your legs as you are. Just turn to the side so you can see me a little bit better. So maybe take your heels a little bit further away from you. So you create a diamond shape with your legs. And then from here, you have your hands here on your shin bones and you have a good grip, okay? So hold on your shin bones, thumbs inside, fingers outside, and we'll move our spine a little bit. So allow the movement to come from your pelvis. As we inhale, you tilt your pelvis forward, you arch your spine, you lift your chest and look up to the edge of the ceiling. Exhale, we do the opposite. Now you tilt your pelvis backward, chin to chest. Squeeze the chest in, pull the navel in, shoulders away from the ears, stretching the muscles here along the spine, upper back. Again, inhale, arching the spine, looking up. And exhale, round your spine. Pull the navel in, push the upper back to the wall behind you. Again, inhale. And exhale. Feel your way through the movement and move with your breath. Inhale. Broaden across your chest and exhale. Broaden across your upper back. One more inhale. And then exhale, round your spine and now stay here just for a few breaths and rock a little bit from side to side. Your arms are straight. The back body is pulling backwards, navel in, chin to chest, shoulders away from the ears. Good, and then inhale, come back up. Now take your hands to the outside of your knees and bring your feet down towards the mat. Now you can remove your towel, just place it aside. So from here, you have your feet about mat width apart, so wider than hip width. Your hands will be behind you, also a little bit wider with the fingers turned out to the sides. It's a bit easier for your wrist. And now you keep puffing your chest up. So keep your heart open and squeeze the muscles on your upper back between your shoulder blades, okay? Now gentle twist here for the spine. You keep your hands, you keep your chest like this, and you keep your feet apart. Now with an exhale, you just drop your knees to the right. You bring the knees as close as possible to the floor as you can. Keep the chest open and look back over your left shoulder. Inhale up. Exhale, knees to the left, looking back over the right shoulder. Inhale up. Let's do this a few times. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale to the other side. Keep your chest open, arms straight and strong. Inhale. Exhale. Up. Exhale to the other side. Inhale. Exhale. Always looking over the opposite shoulder. One more inhale. Exhale, push the floor away. And inhale, find your way back up. Now from here, you take your right leg in front. So I mirror you. The shin bone, your right shin bone is facing parallel towards me, okay? So when you look at your legs, both of your legs are in a kind of a 90-degree angle. Yeah? If you find it difficult to sit upright, then you can bring here your left knee, your back knee a little bit closer towards your front heel, so it might be easier to sit upright. So you want to lift here out from your waist. Yeah? Lengthen your spine, your sternum is lifting. Now we want to come into side bends, into lateral flexion of the spine and opening and stretching of the side body. So from here, take the arms out into a T shape. Inhale, lift your chest, and then exhale, you're over towards the right side. Inhale up, exhale to the other side. Reach the arm over your head. Again, we will do this a few times. Inhale, move with your breath. Make sure you're not taking the hand too close, fingers facing away. Inhale up, exhale to the other side. Inhale. And exhale to the right. Inhale. Exhale to the other side. Inhale up. Now exhale, stay here on the right side. So make sure you're not placing your hand too close and shrug the shoulder up to the ear. So take it a little bit further back and take the shoulder away from the ear. You can bend your elbow if you need to, okay? And then you reach here your left arm up. So imagine you want to touch the ceiling above you. And from here, you inhale, you lengthen. And then exhale, you thread the arm through like threading a needle through a hole. So the fingertips want to touch the wall behind you. Chin to chest, you squeeze the chest in, belly in, you round your spine. And again, inhale, we're opening up. And exhale, pull it in, chin to chest. Reach the arm through. That should feel quite nice on your middle back. Inhale. And exhale. One more inhale. And exhale. Now we're staying here for 3. Reach the arm further through. 2. Pull the navel in, chin in. And 1. Inhale. Come all the way up. And find your way back to center. We keep the legs like this. We do one more thing on this side and then we change to the other side. So we want to come into a forward fold over our front leg to target here our outer right hip and IT bend area. So again, if you find it a little bit difficult, you can bring here the knee a little bit further towards your heel to touch. If you're more receptive, you can bring the legs even further apart from each other. So you take your hands here in front of your leg, and maybe for some of you this is already enough. So make sure there's no pain in your knee. If you can go deeper, maybe you have here your forearms on the ground. If you don't feel a stretch yet, what you can do, you turn your torso here over towards the left. You interlace the fingers here around your foot. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale. You fall forward and you pull your heart towards your foot. So you feel a stretch here on your right outer hip. Yeah, so you can play with the angle of the leg. Let's be here for about a minute or so. Just be where you can. We all have a different body, so don't force yourself in any position. If this is enough for you today, then maybe just stay here, okay? Also know that you can change here, that you can bring knee and heel closer towards each other or even further apart, or maybe you need to open your front leg a little bit more to get a good stretch. Yeah, be curious, investigate, and see what feels good for your body. Yeah, we all have a different bone structure and different flexibility. And once you're here in the shape, just focus on deep breathing. One more deep breath. Good. And then inhale, slowly find your way back up. Okay. Now from here, you take your legs up and we're taking here the left leg in front. So doing everything on the other side. So now your left shin bone is facing towards me. And then we're taking the arms up to the side into a T shape. And then exhale, coming into the side bend here towards the left side. Reach the arm over your head. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale up. And exhale. Move with your breath. Inhale. And exhale to the other side. Inhale up. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale up. Now exhale. Stay here. And then you reach the arm here over your head. So the fingertips reaching up towards the sky. Push the floor away from you. And then exhale, you pull the navel in, chin to chest, and you thread the arm through. Inhale, you open up again. And exhale, squeeze the chest in, thread the arms through, reach the fingers to the wall behind you. Inhale. And exhale. One more inhale. And exhale, we hold here for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, slowly coming back up, and then find your way back to center. So again, you're coming into the forward fold. You can change here the angle of your legs if you need to. Maybe hands on the floor, maybe you come down onto your forearms, or you also can hold your foot, interlace the fingers here, and just pull your chest, your heart forward towards your foot until you feel the stretch here on your left outer hip. And we will be here for 1 minute in total. Every exhale is an opportunity to let go a little bit of this tension, of this tightness you might feel here in your muscles, in your deep connective tissues. Also with every exhale, maybe you can fold a little bit deeper. Last few breaths here. Good, and then slowly find your way back up to center. And then from here, we are coming onto all fours. Hands are shoulder width apart, your fingers are spread wide, knees are hip width apart, we're tucking the toes under. Now from here, we transition back into our first downward facing dog. So lift the knees, push the floor away, and from here, start to lengthen your spine. So imagine your yoga mat is a heavy door and you need to push this door open. So you want to push the floor away from you. Now, some of you, if the hamstrings are tight, you might be here somewhere. Then bend your knees. We want to lengthen through the spine. The chest is coming closer towards the floor. Our sit bones reaching up towards the sky, and our outer armpits roll down towards the floor to free our neck. Maybe move your head a little bit from side to side. Now, if you like, you can paddle your feet a little bit. Bend one knee, press one heel at a time into the ground to stretch out your legs and your calves. You can even stay for a few breaths each side to just release the tension on your calf. And then everyone, lift your heels quite high. Bend your knees a lot. Now look forward between your hands and press your belly towards your thighs to extend your thoracic spine. If it's uncomfortable for your neck, then look down. If okay for your neck, look forward between your hands. Just for 3. Sit bones reaching up. 2. And 1. Exhale, relax your head, heels down. Now take the knees down towards the ground. If you have very sensitive knees, you can place the folded towel underneath your knees, okay? From here, come onto your fingertips and step your right foot forward here between your hands. From here, make sure the feet following the line of your hips. Keep the back toes tucked under for more stability. And then inhale, we come up. So here, you want to have the knee above the ankle, and here also your hip of your back leg is above the knee. From here, we want to come into a spinal twist. You take your left hand here to the outside of the right knee, like this, and we want to create a resistance. So you need to press the knee into your hand. Okay, so if I would let go, it looks like this. I'm pressing the knee out into my hand, and my hand is pulling in this direction. So I create this resistance, okay? Now from here, ball of the big toe is rooting down, elbow to the side, and then inhale, I lift my arm up, but keep the knee above the ankle, create space, lengthen first, and then exhale, you twist open here towards the right side. So you reach the fingertips here of your right hand behind you. Bring your right shoulder further back, left shoulder further forward, twisting from the center of your body, from your thoracic spine. But your pelvis is not really moving. We want to isolate We want to twist our upper body to improve the flexibility of our spine, to also massage a little bit our internal organs, staying here for another 5. Every inhale, you lengthen the spine. 4. Every exhale, you twist a little bit deeper. Look back towards your hand. 3. Keep on breathing. 2. And 1. Good. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, take the hands down. From here, you keep your front foot like it is, but you lift your back knee off the ground and you wiggle your foot a little bit further backwards. And then you drop the knee towards the ground, you untuck your toes. From here, you descend your hips down and forward. So this time the knee is far behind the hip, not underneath the hip, okay? Front knee still above the ankle, hips pressing down and forward. Come onto your fingertips and just lift your chest. And look forward and slightly up to the edge of the ceiling. So option 1, you just stay here, okay? Press the hips down and forward to feel a stretch here on your left front hip, your hip flexor. If you have this stability and if you want to go into a deeper stretch, you slowly come up, have your hands here on your thigh, on your hips, but you're not moving your hips back, okay? Keep the hips pressing down and forward. Just come up with your torso, peel the belly away from your thigh bone. And then with every exhale, you sink down a little bit deeper here into your hip to feel the stretch here on the front of your left hip. So navel is still moving in and up. Your sternum is lifting, but avoid shrugging up your shoulders. So we will be here for a minute to release the tension on the front of the hip. Again, if you find it's really difficult to balance, if it's too much, or you feel a strain for your lower back, then just be here. But to get the stretch, you need to lift your chest and press the hips down and forward, shoulders away from the ears, okay? Or you can come into a little bit more casual version and just rest your forearm here on your thigh. But again, make sure you're not collapsing. Press away. And again, focus on deep breathing. Every exhale, you sink a little bit deeper into this pose. Front foot is resisting into the floor. The more you lean backward and press your hips down and forward, the deeper the stretch will be, and also the opening here, the front line of the body. Okay, now slowly take the hands down towards the ground, and we're transitioning into downward facing dog. To just neutralize, to release any stagnated energy. So just move your legs a little bit, paddle your feet, take your dog for a walk. And then again, take the knees down towards the ground, and we're doing the twist. Now on the other side, come onto your fingertips, left foot forward. Again, if you need a padding, use your towel underneath the knee, back toes tucked under, feet are following the line of your hip. I'll just show you from front. So make sure you're not crossing your feet, okay? Otherwise it will be a little bit difficult to balance. So here, foot and knee in line with the hip. Okay, from here, you take this time here, your right hand to the outside of the knee. Again, create this resistance. Press your knee out into the hand. Inhale, we're lifting our left arm up. So open up through the side body, create length in your spine. And then exhale, twist here from the center of your body. Reach the arm behind you. Take your gaze towards your hand if okay for your neck. So every inhale, you lengthen from the tail to the crown. Every exhale, you twist a little bit deeper. Now use here your hand as a lever to help you twist deeper. And then breathing in and out through the nose for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Inhale. Lift the arms, exhale, take the hands down. We're not changing the front foot. We just want to extend the back leg, okay? So toes tucked under. You lift the knee, you wiggle the foot further back, and then you drop the knee to the ground. Same thing here. If you need the towel as a padding, then please use it. And then from here, option 1, you have the fingertips on the floor, you lift your chest and you look up. Option 2, hips stay down and forward. You come up a little bit higher, maybe the hands here on your thigh, or the forearms resting here on your thigh. But again, not collapsing, okay? So try to peel the belly here away from the thigh bone, navel in and up. Your tailbone is reaching down, chest is lifting. And then with each exhale, you sink a little bit deeper to get more stretch here on your right hip flexor. Especially when we're sitting a lot, and a lot of you might be sitting at the moment or more than usual. It's important to stretch the front of the hip because the hip flexors, they get quite shortened when we're always sitting. So again, make sure you roll your shoulders back and down. There's no tension in your neck and your shoulders. You can look forward or to the edge of the ceiling, but there's no need to throw your head back. Every exhale, going deeper into the stretch. Don't lose your core, navel in and up. Just a few more breaths. Okay, and then from here slowly take your hands down towards the ground, tuck your back toes under, and then from here we will step forward. So carefully stepping forward, open your feet wider than hip width apart. So if you have a yoga mat, a little bit wider here than hip width, so the feet are mat width apart, and then you take your hands to your shin bones. So if you find you're still rounding your back here, take your hands maybe even on your thighs, but not directly on your knees, okay? So keep lifting the kneecaps up, so feel your thigh muscles engage and avoid the hyperextension in your legs. So don't press the back of the knees too much back. There's a micro bend in your knees. What we want to do now is to extend the spine. So reach your tailbone back, reach your sternum forward, chin away from the chest, look forward. Now your inner thighs reaching to the wall behind you. Create this extension in your spine. Think about a little cobra in your upper back. Just for 5, stretching also the back of the legs. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep your legs as they are. Fold forward. If your hamstrings are very tight, then bend your knees, okay? If you're okay, if you want to stretch more through the back of the legs, keep your legs straight. And then just sway from side to side. Release tension from your lower back. Now folding forward, flexing our spine, opening up the back body. Maybe you move your head from side to side. So just yield into this pull of gravity. Allow the torso to dangle heavy here. Your neck long, relaxed. Creating the space between your vertebrae, decompressing the spine. Good, now let go of your hands, bend your knees. Take your hands to your lower back sacrum, palms facing down. Press your feet in, squeeze your elbows together. Press the feet into the ground. And inhale, we are coming all the way up to standing. From here, you keep your feet about mat width apart, toes facing forward. Again, keep the engagement in your legs. So kneecaps lifting up, thigh muscles are engaged, and you squeeze your inner thighs towards the midline. From here, pubic bone moving up towards the navel, and your tailbone here is reaching down. So you feel a slight squeeze in your hip and a core engagement. Now take your right hand to your navel, feel your core engaged, navel pulling in and up. And then inhale, again, we're coming into lateral flexion, into side bend for the spine. Inhale, we are lifting here our left arm up. And then exhale, imagine you move between 2 glass walls. You bend over here towards the right side. So you bring your bicep quite close to your face. You reach out through your fingers. Option 1, you stay here. Option 2, you take here your right hand and crawl the fingers even further down here towards your knee. Feel that pulling sensation here on the side of your body, on the left side of your body, on your waist, rib cage into the armpit. Last 3. You can look up to the front or down. 2. And 1. Strong feet. Inhale, slowly coming up. Good. Okay, let's do the other side. From here, left hand to your navel, same thing. Tailbone reaching down here between your feet. Inhale, you're lifting the arm, and then you rainbow the arm over your head. Bicep is coming close to your face. Maybe this side feels a bit different. Now we're not symmetrical. Reach out through your fingers. Option 1, you stay here, don't lose your core. Don't lean forward or backward, just to the side. And then you crawl maybe your fingers further down towards your knee, towards your ankle. Reach out a little bit more, push your hips a little bit more towards the right. Last 3, good. 2, and 1. Strong feet, inhale, come all the way back up. Good. From here, come again to the front of your mat. Your feet are hip width apart, your hands on your hips. And then you step your left foot back. So not too long. Huh? So when you look at your feet, I show you also from front. Yeah, the feet are following the line of your hips. So your feet are hip width apart. Okay, that gives you the stability. If your feet like this, then it will be very difficult to balance. Okay. So front foot is parallel to the mat. The back toes are turned in, so you can square your hips. Try to squeeze here through your inner thighs. As you squeeze the inner thighs towards the midline, you will feel that you level your hips, okay? So pull your right hip back. Now, ball of the big toe is pressing down into the ground. You keep lifting your kneecap. Thigh muscle engaged. Back heel is pressing down into the floor, so the legs are engaged. Now from here, option 1, you take your arms behind you, like this, thumb in the elbow crease, you roll your shoulders back. Option 2, if it's okay for your wrists, you bring your hands into a reverse namaste, press the palms against each other, little fingers pressing against your spine, and you open here the elbows out to the side. Now from here, take a deep breath in, don't lose the engagement in your legs, squeeze through your inner thighs, and then exhale, we slowly bend forward, just half. Keep chin away from the chest, keep lengthening through your spine. Keep your legs active, ball of the big toe is rooting down, right hip back, left hip forward, squeeze through your inner thighs. Feel the stretch here on your right hamstring. Lift your elbows a little bit more, broaden across your chest. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Strong legs, slowly coming up. And then just release. Maybe circle your wrists a little bit. Hands to the hips, step forward. We do the same on the other side. So right leg back, left foot is forward again, feet following the line of your hip. You need to squeeze through your inner thighs. Kneecap lifting, back of the heel pressing down. You can choose here to just grab your opposite elbow, or you can take your hands into the reverse namaste variation, whatever feels comfortable for you, okay? Now take a deep breath in, and then exhale, fold forward. So swan forward. You want to keep your spine long. Keep looking in front of you. Now we're stretching here, the hamstring. The pyramid pose for another 5, 4. Squeeze through your inner thighs. 3. Keep the engagement in your legs. 2. And 1. Inhale, press the feet into the ground to come all the way back up. Release. From here, take your small towel. We come into another forward fold, so flexion of the spine before we go into back bend, into extension of the spine. So you open your legs this time a little bit wider. Just take the small towel here for now over your shoulder. And so when you open your arms out to the side, and you would draw a line down here from your wrist, then you should hit your ankles. so that the distance here between your legs is wide enough. Will be different for everyone because some of you have like shorter legs, some of you have like longer legs, so it will be individual. Now from here, the toes are facing forward, and make sure you also press here the inner edges of the feet down into the mat. Again, lift your kneecaps, and then imagine you have a big gymnastic ball between your legs, or you're sitting on a horse, and you need to squeeze the horse, the belly of the horse, or the gymnastic ball here between your legs, okay? Now from here, we take our towel. Stay with your legs as you are. Just turn around to show you. So you will take the towel like this, about shoulder width apart or a little bit less, knuckles facing away from you, and the palms facing towards you. Make sure you are able to straighten your arms. If this is not possible, take the hands a little bit wider, okay? Now from here, take a deep breath in. You lift your chest, you stretch your arms away from you and broaden across your chest. Check, you're still engaging through your legs. Keep the kneecaps lifting, and then exhale. Again, you're swanning forward. The spine wants to be long. Coming into a wide-legged forward fold. So we're stretching the hamstrings, but also through the inner thighs of our legs and the groins and the shoulders as well. Now from here, just move your head a little bit from right to left. Release your neck. Then head to center. Bounce your arms a little bit. Up and down, up and down. Now pull with your right hand. So you move your arms to the right, you look to the left. Inhale, center. Now pull with your left hand on the towel. So arms moving towards the left and you look towards the right. And then slowly coming back to center. One more deep breath. Pull the arms over your head as much as you can. Chin away from the chest. And then slowly lower your hands first towards your sacrum. Bend your knees, soften your knees a little bit, and come up with a long spine. Good. Now from here, you take the towel away. Just take it to the side and then heel toe your feet back together. So big toes touching, heels slightly apart. We transition down towards the floor. Take your hands to heart center. And so we want to lift both heels up. Just come onto the balls of your feet and squeeze the inner ankles towards the midline. That helps to balance. So be careful with your knees with this one, and then very slowly you keep squeezing the legs together. You bend your knees and you slowly look in front of you. You come down and you sit here on your heels. So thighs are parallel towards the floor, shoulders above your hips. Just balance and squeeze the inner ankles towards each other. Keep the spine long. Just another 3, 2, and 1. Good. Exhale. Take the fingers down and descend here. Your knees down towards the floor. Now from here, release your feet. So so come up maybe just a moment and then roll the flesh out of your calves here to the side and sit between your feet. So some of you might find that this is very challenging, very difficult on the ankles, or you have pain in your knees. If this is the case, then again, you take your towel and you fold it quite thick, so like this, and you just sit on it. So when you sit on the towel, you will feel you release the pressure here on your ankles and on your knees. Knees doesn't have to be closed. You can open them slightly. So from here, with or without the towel, we want to lean backwards a little bit to stretch here the quadricep muscle, our thighs. So face the fingers away from you. Now to get the stretch, you lift your hips a little bit and you scoop your tailbone under like a dog scooping its tail. So you want to scoop the tailbone between your knees, and your pubic bone is lifting up towards your navel. So you lengthen your lower back. As you do so, you should feel right away actually a stretch if you do it properly. So some of you might just stay here, so keep the chest open. You can even walk your hands a little bit further away from you. If you can go deeper, some of you maybe come onto the forearms, fingertips, here touching the toes. Just keep gazing forward, and again, you're constantly reaching your tailbone forward between your knees, okay? So it's a very active pose. You're not just resting and collapsing here, okay? So some of you are very receptive and very open And again, this is just optional, okay? Don't force yourself in any position. Maybe you can lie all the way down and take your arms here over your head, grab your opposite elbow to open the entire front of the body. Just be here for another 5 long deep breaths. Keep reaching the tailbone forward between your knees. Feel the lengthening here on your thighs, on your quadricep muscle. Deep breathing. That's 3, 2, and 1. Good, well done. Take the arms down. Slowly, if you're lying down, come onto your forearms. Come all the way up. And then from here, you come up to kneeling. Now we're doing one more back bend here. So the knees are hip width apart. If you have sensitive knees, you take your towel and have them here, the towel underneath your knees as a padding. I would recommend that you tuck your toes under for this one. So it's called Ustrasana. Again, we want to stretch the front line of the body. So some of you might be just here today as you place your hands here on your lower back, your sacrum, fingers facing down, you squeeze the elbows towards each other, you lift the chest. So again, the tailbone is reaching down, you lengthen your lower back, the hips slightly moving forward, and your sternum is lifting. So imagine there's a string attached and someone is pulling you up on that string. And then slowly, slowly you start to lean backward. So some of you, that might be already enough, okay? If you can go a little bit further, then you take your hands here to your ankles, thumbs outside, fingers inside, and make sure you're not doing this. You want to create the letter D, the shape of the letter D with your body. As you move your hips forward, tailbone is reaching down, and your sternum is lifting. Just keep gazing forward for another 5. Squeeze the muscles on the upper back. 4. Squeeze your inner thighs. 3, make sure ankles not going out to the side. 2, and 1. Without any jerky movements, take your hands to the lower back first. Safely come up, release your feet. Just sit down for a moment. Just allow the spine to neutralize. Just rest your hands on your thighs just for a few breaths. Maybe you feel a little bit of achiness in the lower back. That's normal when we just came out of a back bend. And then exhale, fold forward into a child's pose to release the lower back. You can make a pillow with your hands. You can rest arms next to your body, or you can stretch the arms forward. Knees can be closed, slightly open, whatever feels comfortable to you. You just want to release through the lower back, lengthen the lower back after our back. Just feel the hips heavy here on your heels for 2 more breaths. And then slowly inhale, come back up and slide down on your back. And hug your knees into your chest. Just rock a little bit from side to side. Massage your lower back, your sacrum. And then you stretch your left leg out along the floor. You hug your right knee in, both feet are flexed. And then you take the right arm out to the side on shoulder height. Take the left hand to the outside here of your right knee. And then you're shifting the hips to the right hand side of the mat and guiding the knee down to the left for a spinal twist. So if okay for your head, lift your head for your neck. And then turn your head looking towards your right hand. Try to keep both shoulders, especially the right shoulder, down on the ground. Just want to release a little bit here through the lower back sacroiliac joint. And also restoring the balance in our nervous system. Inhale, slowly coming back up. Now hugging the left knee in. Taking the left arm out to the side, hips to the left, and lower the knee to the right. So make sure you shift your hips and not just roll over to the side. Now you can use here the hand to just gently guide the knee down, but at the same time you want to keep the left shoulder down. If okay for your neck, turn your head and look towards the left. The back bends, so extension of the spine is quite stimulating for our nervous system. Forward bends, flexion of the spine is more calming for our nervous system. And twist, what we're doing now, they restore the balance in the nervous system. And inhale, slowly coming back to center. And then we're preparing for everyone's favorite pose, Shavasana. You can take the big towel as a pillow underneath the back of the head, so your chin is a little bit lower than your forehead, so natural extension. If you feel your lower back is quite tender, now you can keep the legs bent like this, maybe even in a knees and thighs touching, feet on the ground, or if you feel more comfortable stretching out your legs, you can be here. Just allow the feet to fall out to either side. And if the room is quite bright, you're in, then use your small towel to cover your eyes. Just rest the arms on the floor with the palms facing towards the sky. Relax your fingers. Take a deep breath in through your nose and a long breath out through your mouth. As you exhale, just allow your entire body to relax and to melt into the earth. Imagining, feeling, and visualizing that you slowly transition from an ice cube into water. So your whole body very slowly starts to melt. Become more fluid. Your muscles, your bones, your tissues, but also your breath. Find again that quality of fluidity, rhythm, and steadiness in your breath. Unhinge your jaw. Allow the tongue to just drop to the bottom of your mouth. Feel as you do so how the space in your mouth is increasing. Allow your eyes to just fall back into their sockets. Space between your eyebrows wide and open. Let go of all effort. Let go of any gripping or tension you may still feel in some body parts. This is the time now for you to just relax. And whenever you're ready, start to deepen your breath, to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe you're stretching your arms over your head, stretching your entire body. And then have your knees in and roll to your right side and just rest here, your head onto your towel or your arm. And then whenever you're ready in your own time, you just find your way back up to sitting. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you feel a little bit more loose, relaxed, and calm, and take this into the rest of your day. Namaste.